and welcome back to another episode of Cricket Talkies, where today, as the IPL continues, we are here to discuss the upcoming Kings XI Punjab versus Rajasthan Royals game taking place at Sharjah. And today, here to discuss it with me, I have Chris. Hello.
Hi, Coach. How are you?
So, let's get started without any further ado. So, Chris, what a phenomenal job Punjab did in the last game. Lost to Delhi after a very close game, but against RCB, they just took out everything and they did a phenomenal job, especially Rahul scoring 130 plus.
Yeah, definitely. Actually, Rahul played one of the best knocks of the IPL so far. Actually, it is a very clean knock. Actually, he was not slogging. He was just playing some real cricketing shots and played an excellent innings. Actually, by far the best innings, I would say, in all the IPL matches. Not only this season, in all the IPL matches, I would say this was one of the best games I have ever seen and the best batting.
Yeah, but not only did Punjab score, we had Rajasthan do a phenomenal job, score 200 plus. Sanju Samson did a phenomenal job with the bat,
That's right.
What are your thoughts on them?
Yeah, again, actually, but if you see, that match was played in Sharjah, where actually in that match, particularly, they had scored almost 33 sixes, which collectively put together in Dubai was 27 in 4 matches, and similarly 20-22 in Dubai, so in Abu Dhabi. So actually, it's a too small a ground. So 200 plus in Sharjah was quite natural, because. But again, now considering in this coming to this match, everybody is going to ask, what about the universe boss, whether he's going to play tomorrow or not. But again, actually, it's very difficult choice, considering that Mayank Agarwal and KL Rahul both played one of the best knocks of the IPL and both opened the innings and scored runs. So in case if they have to bring in Gale, how can he be brought in? And if Gale has to play, then he has to open the innings. He cannot bat in middle order. So if that is the case, either KL or Mayank has to come at number 3.
Yeah, KL Rahul, we can't have him come at number 3. He's a phenomenal opener, and KL Rahul and Chris Gale had a phenomenal season last time. So I think you have to put Mayank Agarwal one down, bring him in that position. And I think, if they lose an early wicket, Mayank Agarwal can still basically play the role of an opener if they lose a wicket in the first few overs. But the hope is that they don't, and they can get a good partnership. And Mayank Agarwal, he still has that ability to come in maybe in the 11th, 12th over and still play a good innings, get a 50 odd, and finish off the game. That's what he has to do, and that's what I think he needs to learn to do. We saw that he has a talent, he has the ability to perform and get big scores and when his team needs him to. So I think he needs just to apply that in different positions. I think that's what's going to be crucial. Yeah, so speaking of the 400 slot, Chris Gale to come in, you have to drop one of their 400s. I think Jimmy Neesham would be that ideal candidate to drop, because I think even though he does get you a little bit back down the order, I think Gale can really provide much more at the top. And bring out Jimmy Neesham, you can bring in Gale, and then take out someone like a Karun Nair and bring in that Ishan Polar such Arshdeep Singh to get that strong Indian pacer in there to support Shami and Cottrell. And I think that trio of pacers plus that phenomenal top order with Rahul, Agarwal and Gale would really complete Punjab and bring them that firepower they need.
Yeah, I fully agree with you. But I also at the same time I feel Nicholas Pooran, actually they already gave him a couple of chances. Actually in the first match he got out for 0 in both the innings, and in the next match also he failed. Maybe actually Gale should come in place of Pooran, and Jimmy Neesham should retain his place. That's what I feel.
Here's the problem with that. According to me, Karun Nair, I think, is not that ideal candidate to play that middle overs. And Nicholas Pooran, while he's still getting accustomed to the conditions and everything, I think he can take on the role of that middle over player. And I think bringing in Gale and Nicholas Pooran, you have Gale at the top, Agarwal one down, that's your top order. Then you look at your middle order, you have Karun Nair, Glenn Maxwell, and like Jimmy Neesham. And none of those are guys, Glenn Maxwell maybe, but other than that, you don't bat very deep. And Sarfraz Khan. But none of them really have the role of an anchor. Maxwell maybe sometimes in some cases, but other than that, you really lack a good anchor. So if the top order fails, you're not looking at much in the middle order. And Nicholas Pooran kind of provides that depth a little bit more than someone like a Jimmy Neesham would. So I think that's why it's more valuable for Punjab to let go of Neesham and retain Pooran in their 11.
What about Rajasthan? Rajasthan will also, actually, the people say now Butler is out of quarantine. He might play. Again, they also have the same issue. Samson kept the wicket well in the first match, and he also scored runs. He and Steve Smith opened the inning. They both scored runs. If at all then Butler comes, then he has to open the innings and Smith has to come down. Is it a viable thing to do?
Yeah, Jaiswal and Smith opened the innings, and Smith himself said, that we'll see what happens when Butler comes in. Butler, we all know what he can do at the top. I think it's very early to let go of Yashasvi Jaiswal. He's a very exciting young prospect. So seeing him in that opening slot, I think is what Rajasthan want to do, and Sharjah is going to give him the opportunity to bat. So I think they should give him a couple more chances. Have Smith come down number 4. Have Butler come in place.
No, I have no issue actually. Yashar Jaswal will play. But the thing is, if Butler comes in, who will keep the wickets? Because Sanju Samson did a good job behind the wicket.
I mean, yeah, then you could have Sanju Samson keep the wickets. Butler is not horrible in the outfield. He can play that outfield role. And if Samson doesn't want to keep wickets and you think we should go with Butler, that works as well. Both of them, you have 2 phenomenal keepers there, and Rob Unutaba if you want as well. So you have 3 keepers to choose from. Whoever you want to choose, you can pick. It's like a pick and choose. Pick any card you want. It's up to Rajasthan. They have that freedom to do whatever they would like and put whoever they want in the outfield. And I think that is what really wins you these IPL games. Freedom, and that's what we see Chennai. Why they're so successful? Because they have those options. So I think that's important for both teams to learn and know that you have to keep yourself with the options open. Make sure that if something goes wrong, you have your 2-3 backup plans to go to, and I think that's what helps you win the games.
And now coming back to Robin Uthappa, I feel he's already past his prime. Actually, he's towards the fag end of his career as far as I am concerned. Even we saw in the first match also, he was struggling a bit, So coming in the middle order, where actually they need somebody to just up the scoring rate, do you think it's advisable to keep Robin Uthappa down the order?
Absolutely not. I think they need to go with someone like a Mahipal Lomro or Aniruddha Joshi, both of whom provide a couple overs with the ball. And as I said, that gives you more choices. Choices are what win games in IPL. You need to have those choices. And so I think, get rid of Robin Uthappa, get someone like Mahipal Lomro or Aniruddha Joshi, both of whom are all-rounders and they can really bat well. So I think either one of those two could really be a vital player for Rajasthan.
And also coming to see Sharjah, since it's a small ground, what do you think actually the strategy of both the teams? Whether they would go with more pace attack or they will go with spin attack or they will go with the traditional 1-3 pace to spin?
I think you should go with the balance. We did see first game, the spinners were very expensive. Rahul Tewatia did a phenomenal job though, picking up 3 wickets, So I think Rajasthan need to continue with that. They had their spinners play. I think they know the conditions are more accustomed to it. So I think Rajasthan had a good combo. They won the game. No reason to change a winning combo. Butler comes in. That's the only change they should be looking to make. But I think Punjab, as far as they go, I think it's not the right game to bring in Mujib. I think Mujib still needs to be on the sidelines. I think Mujib and any other spinners they want to bring in, the high spinners, they need to come in towards the second half of the tournament when the pitch really starts slowing down a lot more. I don't think Sharjah is going to be on those wickets though, because it's so small. You have that opportunity to hit, and the spin is not really doing as well as a lot of people thought. We did see in that Rajasthan Chennai game that the spinners didn't have the best of luck. Rahul Tewatia, as I said before, did a phenomenal job. But other than him, they were struggling a little bit. So I definitely think don't go spin heavy. If you anything, go pacers heavy, but have those pacers who can early on get the pace on, and later on take the pace off. And that's what needs to happen. With Chennai, with Ngidi, towards the end, he conceded so many runs against Jofra Archer, and they cannot have that. You have that. That's 25 runs more. If Chennai didn't concede those runs, it was their game to win.
Okay, what do you think will be the 4 foreigners for each team?
So, like I said, Punjab, I think Gill should be coming in. Gill, Puran, Maxwell, and Cottrell. I think should be their 4 foreigners. And for Rajasthan, I think their 4 foreigners should be Josh Butler, Steve Smith, Jofra Archer, and Tom Curran.
Okay. And winning the toss, who think?
I think if you win the toss, you have to go for a bat. I think batting first is definitely the ideal choice here. We did see Rajasthan score 220 or something almost. And if the wicket does slow down a little bit towards the second half, which I don't think you're going to see too much. But yeah, even if it gets a bit of a disadvantage, you don't want that on a wicket like this, where you're getting 220, 230, as your power score, as a good score, and it's not that uncommon. You really need to have every advantage you can have, and batting second, I think that just puts you at a disadvantage. Also, that scoreboard pressure, knowing you have to get 2-10. If the run rate ever goes above that 10 over, you start getting yourself under a lot of pressure. If you lose wickets and the chase just goes mayhem, So I think you win the toss, you have to bat first, gives them a clear mindset, go in, get as many runs as you can, and give it to your bowlers to defend.
What do you think actually? Krishnamma Gautam will play, or they will retain Murugan Ashwin?
Well, I think if you look at Rajasthan, they don't have too many left-handers. Yashasvi Jaiswal is top, but other than that, they're looking pretty right-hand heavy. So I don't see a reason to not play Murugan Ashwin and Ravi Bishnoi, 2 phenomenal leg spinners. I think Gautam, he does well, and the only reason I could see them picking Gautam is the fact that Gautam played for Rajasthan a couple of prior seasons. He knows how Samson operates. He knows how Butler operates. Maybe he can give them that insightfulness and get that those wickets early on, just based on knowing their weaknesses. So I think if they go with him, that's because he has the experience against Rajasthan. But otherwise, I think Murugan Ashwin and Ravi Krishna make a phenomenal bet.
What do you think will be the outcome of the match?
Well, I think Punjab should be winning this. Last season they did a horrible job towards the end. They had a very good start, but they finished off very poorly. This season, they have proven that they have improved their team. After the auction itself, I thought Glenn Maxwell, Nicholas Pooran, and Nicholas Pooran was the last season, but he was more a prominent member this season, I thought. And Glenn Maxwell, I think that was a humongous buy for them. So I think Punjab have strengthened that middle order, strengthened that core. If they bring Gale in the top order, they have that immense firepower of Rahul, Gale, and Agarwal. So if they get that there, then they have Maxwell and Pooran towards the middle overs to play it out, and maybe even if they can accurate hit towards the end for that middle order, for that end, Sarfraz Khan, Deepak Hooda, whoever they want to go with. So I think they have a very good batting, and we've seen what Mohammad Shami can do so far. In addition to Sheldon Cottrell, that salute. I think that's going to play a big role. And then Murugan Ashwin and Ravi Krishna are two amazing spinners. So I think Punjab in every way have the upper hand here. Okay, and that concludes our preview of the upcoming Kings 11 Punjab versus Rajasthan Royals game that takes place at Sharjah on Sunday. We hope to see you all in the next video. And until then, please enjoy, please like, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you all next time. Bye, guys.